Today I share with you my opioid addiction story and also what I wish I'd known sooner. A few years ago, I found myself facing something I never expected. I was addicted to opioids. Hello everyone, and a big welcome to Living My Best Life in My 70s. And a big welcome to anyone new visiting my channel today. You're most welcome here. Today I'm going to share something very personal with you, a very difficult chapter in my life. But by sharing it, I hope that it will serve as a warning or comfort to you today if you're going through or have gone through anything similar. It started with back pain. I'd had a bulging disc about 10 years earlier that I'd had repaired, and I was struck with a terribly sore back again. So I naturally phoned my doctor, who referred me to a neurologist, who immediately instructed me to have an MRI scan so that he could see what was going on, which I did do. The outcome of that was the scan showed that I needed a spinal fusion. I was in absolute agony, and of course I had to accept his decision that that was the right thing to do. And he gave me pain medication to start taking immediately because the fusion couldn't be done for quite a few days anyway. So off I went home, took the meds, and they did help a lot, and waited for my day to go to theatre. Anyway, the day came and I had to check into hospital. I didn't take any of the pain meds to hospital with me. I figured, I was having an operation. If there was any medication that needed to be given to me, that they would give it to me there. But I didn't know what to expect next. When I woke up from the operation, I was hit with the most shocking hallucinations. They lasted a full 24 hours. And even after the hallucinations stopped, I was left with this terrible anxiety, with such fear that I just couldn't get over. And then a cloud of very deep depression. I actually felt like I was out of my own body. Anyway, the time eventually came and for me to go home, and I went home with a prescription in hand from the doctor for the same pain meds as I'd had before I went in for my surgery. So of course I took them immediately, and relief. It really did help relieve the pain a lot. And that got me through the next while, and I thought, well, from here onwards, even though I'm feeling anxiety all the time, I'm sure that'll pass. I will now start to feel better. But then, just as I thought I was healing and everything was going to be fine, something even worse happened. I got the most excruciating pain in my back and down my leg. I've never experienced a pain like that in my life before. And immediately phoned the surgeon. He said, get straight in, have another MRI, and we'll follow up from there. It turns out that there was a little hole made, left, whatever, in my spinal cord, and my spinal fluid was leaking out. And that was causing this incredible pain. So I went straight back into theatre. When I saw the anaesthetist in the theatre, I immediately told him what had happened the time before, and I said I'd had this terrible reaction to the anaesthetic, so was there perhaps something different he could give me? And he said, no, that's not possible. The anaesthetic couldn't have given you those reactions. So he just went on and he gave me the same anaesthetic again. Well, I woke up, came out of my anaesthetic into even more, if you can believe it, intense hallucinations. I was in such a dark place. I was down in a deep, deep pit. And I can remember actually saying the word light. Light, almost sort of praying for there to be some light to come into this terrible, terrible, evil-like darkness that had overtaken me. It was just too shocking for words. And the anxiety, I couldn't keep still. I couldn't stay in my bed. I must have driven the staff crazy. I was out of my bed with my drips and my catheter and everything, and I just couldn't keep still. My whole body was just jerking. And anyway, I got through that first night. By the second night, that terrible jerking and the spasms had gone off a bit, but I was just still in this deep, dark hole. I was so severely depressed, and I couldn't believe that I'd been given the same anesthetic and it had done the same thing to me again. Of course I blamed the anesthetic. Why wouldn't I? But the truth is much more shocking. Back in the beginning, before the first op, which would have gone back about a month by then, I think, the first time I visited the neurologist, and he gave me pain meds without any warning of what I was taking. The name on the bottle tells you nothing. I was taking opioids. Now you can look this up for yourself. Opioids are not supposed to be taken for more than about 5 days post-op. They're a powerful, addictive drug. Mine were given to me a week pre-op. I then went into hospital without them, had those horrible days, came home with a new script, took them again, back into hospital, horrible days. It wasn't anesthetic, I was in withdrawal. I was in opioid withdrawal. I had become addicted without any warning. How was I supposed to know? What did I even know about opioids? I know about them now, because now I've done so much research on them, and I've been shocked with every little bit that I've read. That I took these for a month, when the guidelines, the medical guidelines, are for 5 days to max 7 days post-op. When I confronted my surgeon about it, he dismissed me. He said, no, that's not possible. You could not have got addicted. When I told him what happened to me, he just dismissed me, actually. He was not terribly interested in how I was feeling. Do you know that over 16 million people worldwide are addicted to opioids? And 99% of them have been prescribed to them after some sort of injury or operation for pain, and given them for too long until they became addicted, and then had to start buying them on the black market. And I'll share something else with you that I got so far as looking up on the internet if I could buy these on the black market, and you can. I didn't, but you can. So what was I going to do about it? I knew I had to stop somehow, but I also knew I just couldn't face that terrible withdrawal again that I had gone through twice. So with the help of my husband, we drew up a weaning schedule, and I would never have been able to do it without him. It took a very long time. The tapering off process took forever. But thankfully, with his love and kindness, and also checking up on me, helping me to keep to my schedule, I finally got to the day where I took my last half an opioid. Do you know, I've wondered before why people self-harm. I self-harmed during that period of withdrawal. I started scratching my legs, and I realized, even in the bad state I was in, that hurting my legs was taking the pain away from my mind for just that minute. And it's helped me to understand why people do self-harm. I'm actually ashamed to admit it, but that's what the grip of addiction can do to you. But I want to be honest with you. This experience has left scars. I now live with anxiety. I have medication for it. The anxiety is, for some reason, never gone away. I don't know why, but I'm treated for it now. My message to you today is, we are too trusting. I've always believed that we need to listen to the experts, people who know better than we do. Not anymore. It doesn't matter what they think. From now onwards, I will question anything that anybody gives me to put into my body. It's my body. It's my responsibility. If I had questioned that very first script, I might have known more about what I was taking. I might never have had to go through what I went through. But I didn't. I trusted my doctor. Just remember, questioning is not being difficult, it's being smart. So, if you are battling with a similar experience or somebody you know, my email address is in my profile, and I invite you to write to me privately and I will respond to you. Please remember that you're not alone in this. I know you might feel alone, but you're not. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and thumbs up and all the things you can do. And if you're still here watching, thank you so much. Maybe now you can subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please come back and let's enjoy some more honest, real conversations about life, our challenges, and how we can handle them. Take care, look after yourself. Remember, you're worth protecting. Bye for now.